Have you ever wondered why do some people stay broke despite doing everything right? How others are succeeding in the same business or job you are in while you still unable to make progress? Because when our subconscious blueprint is not set for money or success, nothing we learn, we know, we do will make a real difference in our external reality. Hi guys, my name is Isha, and in this video we are talking about mastering the inner game of money and success. Basically, aligning our inner energy to win in the outer world. Just like in nature, fruits are the results of deep-seated seeds and strong roots, as in the invisible creating the visible. Same way, the results we get in our life, our external reality, come from our inner world. So, if you want different results, different roots, you must first change the roots, right? So, what are these roots that create our physical world? They are our mental, emotional, and spiritual world inside us. Our external world is merely a printout of these three inner worlds. Okay, our money, health, and life outcomes are not random. They are the reflections of our inner state. And how does this world get created? It all starts with programming. Programming becomes thoughts, thoughts turning into feelings, feeling driving actions, and finally creating the results. Okay, and here now, programming means the info that we received about money and success in the past, especially during our childhood. Okay, this information came from sources like our parents, our culture, our siblings, our teachers, and other authority figures. Okay, and over time now, this created those abundance files in our subconscious. Okay, so whenever we think about anything related to money, success, happiness, we just open one of these files, pull out the information stored there, form a thought, and then act accordingly. In other words, most of our thoughts originate from the information stored in the mental filing cabinets of our mind, which is our subconscious, okay, where all other automated actions are generated. Thoughts such as money is evil, you have to work very hard to be happy and rich, or not everyone can be rich, all come from old conditioning that we unconsciously absorbed from our surroundings. And usually, with these memories, now some emotion is almost always attached. For example, if your mother repeatedly said that rich people are cruel and therefore bad, so your subconscious links wealth with being a bad person. And since you don't want to be disapproved or rejected by your mother or be a bad person, your subconscious will avoid wanting to be rich. Okay, so even if logically you understand today that money has nothing to do with being a good or a bad person, the emotional imprint from childhood often overrides this logic. Okay, so whenever the subconscious has to choose between deeply rooted emotions and logical thinking, emotions almost always win. Okay, so how do we change this money blueprint in our subconscious? This process has been precisely explained by T. Harv Eker, and the first step towards this is awareness. You cannot change something unless you know it exists, right? So in first step, start observing your thoughts, your fears, your habits, actions, and even your inaction regarding money or success. Just being aware of your inner patterns so you can make a choice in the present moment instead of being unconsciously driven by the programming from the past. Okay, and this awareness begins by writing down all the preconditioned statement about money, wealth, and rich people that you heard while growing up. Okay, and next comes understanding, recognizing where this way of thinking came from. Write down how you believe that these money beliefs have affected your financial life so far. Okay, as in subconsciously you will never be able to save money or manage money properly, or you do not ask for more. Okay, what that belief is doing in your actual life. Okay, and the third step is dissociation. Once you realize that these thoughts are not originally yours, but borrowed from your surroundings, you begin to detach from them. You can observe them without identifying with them. Okay, so you start seeing that they no longer hold value in your present life, and then you start applying what are your thoughts about money and success. Do you have a choice in this moment to think and act differently? Okay, and the step 4 is reconditioning, which is what this video is all about. Okay, this is where you introduce new mental files in your subconscious, as in retraining your mind to support success and wealth. Okay, so you begin replacing your old beliefs and habits with new empowering truths about being happy and rich. Okay, and how does this reconditioning or reprogramming takes place? For ease, I have categorized these habits and actions in 4 categories. That is, category first is identity and mindset, who you believe you are, and how to create a new mental folder to reset these old beliefs. Category 2, emotional mastery and courage. So, how you respond internally to match your external world. These determine whether you move forward or you stay stuck emotionally. Okay, category third is abundance and receiving, your relationship with money and expansion. These reprogram that scarcity, guilt and resistance to receiving more. Okay, and category 4, which is aligned action and growth, how you live on daily basis with these new files downloaded. Okay, so these turn mindset into results through consistent actions. Okay, now let's get into category first. So the first file you need to install here is I am the creator. Replace the belief that every situation in your life is predestined and beyond your control with the understanding that you have the power to shape your life. You are the creator of wealth, success, and happiness in your life. Tell your mind that you can choose how you want your life to be instead of being at the mercy of what life throws at you. Okay? So, to add this file that you are the creator into your subconscious, write down 2 to 3 situations each day that did not go well and ask yourself, what was my part in creating each of these situations? This simple practice will make you accountable for your life. Okay, now the second folder you need to download is letting go of the need to be right all the time or the need to do things your way only. Why? Because your present way has gotten you exactly where you are today. And when we think that we are always right, there is no scope for learning or relearning. And with these old mental beliefs, we stay exactly where we are. Okay, so release the belief that your way is the right way. Okay, being always right means holding on to those old ways of thinking and being. Okay, and if you keep believing and doing what you have always believed or done, you will keep getting what you have always got. Okay, third file that you need to download is stop playing small. Your life won't grow bigger if you keep shrinking yourself. Okay, and stop playing small means knowing you are capable of more but choosing comfort over courage. Most people play small due to fear of failure or feeling of unworthiness. They don't believe they are good enough to make a real difference in other people's life or to deserve something better in their life. But if deep down you believe that you are not good enough to be rich, happy, or successful now, then no amount of money or anything else for that matter will ever feel enough. The next file is, and this is my favorite, thoughts are just thoughts. Give them the meaning you want them to have. The meaning you assign is what gives them strength. Okay, so observe your thoughts and ask, is this thought supporting my happiness and success or not? As I said, thoughts are just thoughts. You can choose how they end. So when a negative or unsupportive thoughts arises now, say silently in your mind, thank you for sharing, and replace it with a thought that empowers you. And here comes the role of power thinking. With power thinking, we understand that everything is neutral. Nothing has meaning except the meaning we give it. And since we are going to create a story and assign meaning anyway, why not choose a story that supports us? Okay, make a pact with yourself that whenever an inner voice tries to stop you from doing something now that supports your growth or success, do it anyway. Okay, now comes the second category, second, which is emotional mastery and courage. And here first comes despite fear, anxiety, insecurity, and uncertainty. Most people stay stuck waiting for the storm to pass, for circumstances to improve, for things to feel safer or clearer. This is how many of us were conditioned in the past. Now, retrain your mind. Every successful person you admire took action despite fear, anxiety, uncertainty. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the fear to disappear before taking action. So, install this new rule in your mind: act despite it all. Practice acting in spite of doubt, in spite of worry, in spite of inconvenience and discomfort, especially when you don't feel like acting. As the saying goes, if you are willing to do what is easy now, life will always be hard. But if you are willing to do what is hard, life will be easy. So to move to the next level of your life, you must break through your current comfort zone. And only by doing uncomfortable things do you stretch that zone. Now comes the another folder that you need to download is be bigger than your problems. Obstacles are just levels. The secret to success is not trying to avoid your problems or get rid of them or shrink away from them. The secret is to grow yourself so that you become bigger than your problem. The size of the problem is never the issue. What matters is the size of you. Meaning, you are either whining about the problem or working on the solution. So to shift your into solution thinking now, write down one specific problem you are facing right now, and then write a few clear actions you can take to resolve it. This simple step moves your mind from problem focused thinking to solution oriented thinking. And when obstacles appear, now handle what's in front of you, take clear action, and then just return your focus to your vision. Put your energy into creating what you want, not endlessly fighting fires. Okay, start now from where you are with what you have. Life rarely shows the full path to anyone. Most of the time, you can only see the next bend, and only when you reach it can you see further. Another mental file you need to download is do not resent or envy the abundant. When you do now, you are subconsciously telling your mind that being happy, successful, or rich is something bad. And as a result, your mind will quietly work against you, keeping you from becoming happy, wealthy, or successful yourself. Okay, so instead, start admiring, blessing, and genuinely appreciating what others have, especially when it's something you also desire in your life. Okay, there is an ancient Huna philosophy that says, bless that which you want. So, if you see someone with a loving family, bless that person and their family. If you see someone happy and successful, bless them sincerely. This trains your subconscious to see abundance as safe and desirable. So, you stop unconsciously repelling happiness, wealth, and success from your own life. Okay, and now comes the category third, which is abundance and receiving, your relationship with money and expansion. So tell me, are you a receiver or only a giver? When you are not willing to receive, you are training the universe not to give it to you. Simply put, if you are unwilling to receive your share, it will go to someone else who is happily willing to accept it. The rain does not care who receives it, and neither does money. Many of us hold a belief that if we become rich or successful, we will turn arrogant, spoiled, or become a bad person. Let me be very clear. Money and success do not change who you are. They only amplify what is already within. So if you are mean, money will give you more opportunities to be meaner. But if you are kind, money will give you more opportunities to be kinder. Okay, so to become a better receiver, practice genuine excitement and gratitude whenever you receive something, whether it's money, success, support, or appreciation. Once you become a receiver of money and success, now you also open channels for receiving in other areas too, like health, happiness, fulfillment. Okay, why? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. The way you show up in one area of your life, that is usually how you show up in all areas. So next time when someone gives you a compliment, simply say thank you. Do not return the compliment immediately. This allows you to fully receive, and it allows the giver to experience the joy of giving without having the gift thrown back at them. Okay, next file you need to install in your mental folder is choose both. because we live in a world of abundance, not limitation. Since childhood, many of us have been trained to believe in either or thinking. Either you can be happy or rich, either you can have a family or a career, either you can earn well or love what you do. Now, create a new folder in your mind, one that allows you to choose both. Let the universe figure out the how. Ask for a successful career and a close, loving relationship with your family. Ask to focus deeply on your business and still have fun, play, and joy in your life. Ask for money and meaning in your life. Have a desire to get rich doing what you love. Okay, and in doing so, that you are training your mind to believe that you can have the cake and eat it too. So you can be a kind, generous, and spiritual person and also be incredibly rich and successful. Okay, so keep asking yourself this one powerful question: how can I have both? If you truly want to live a life without limits, now let go of either or thinking and hold the intention of having both. Okay, and the next folder that you need to install is replace the belief that you must work endlessly to get rich. There's a deeply ingrained belief in many of our subconscious minds that wealth only comes from working harder and longer. This belief is outdated. Create sources of passive income. Financial freedom means being able to maintain your lifestyle without actively working or depending on anyone else for money. In simple terms, it means your passive income exceeds your expenses. So, educate yourself about investments and way to build passive income streams. Get yourself financially educated. This is important. Now comes a category 4, which is aligned action and growth. Okay? Another file that needs to be added in your mind is a clear file of exactly what you want from life. People who do not know what they want are always at the mercy of situations or other people and are never truly happy and content. And moreover, now if your reason for wanting money or being rich comes from fear, insecurity, anger, or trying to prove yourself, money will never truly make you happy. So you need to add that folder in your subconscious, what you are aiming for in terms of money, health, career, lifestyle, everything, instead of just living at the mercy of life. Most people don't get what they want because deep down they don't know what they want. That file is simply missing in their mind. Okay, so create that file and say to yourself that I am totally committed to creating this kind of life for me. And with that one decision, a whole series of unseen events, people, and material assistance begin to rise in your favor, as if the universe starts showing up to guide you, to assist you, and create miracles for you the moment you commit to yourself. Okay? Now, the next folder is become an excellent manager of what you already have in your life if you want more. Okay? The habit of managing your life is very important. Until you show the universe that you can handle what you have been given, you won't receive more. Miracles begin to appear when you demonstrate that you can responsibly manage what you have already received. And this is one of the key principles to having more. Okay? Next folder is rest, enjoy, and nurture. This is a crucial shift. People who are conditioned to be constant givers now, they often place themselves last, especially when it comes to rest, pleasure, or enjoyment. So, to retrain this pattern at a subconscious level, intentionally do something that is nurturing for yourself, something you would not normally allow yourself to do. Create a play account and add some money to it. And each month, spend that money in a way that makes you feel rich, happy, and abundant. And this practice will also strengthen your receiving muscle. Okay. And this will send a clear signal to the universe that you live in abundance and the universe respond by offering you more opportunities to experience the same. Okay. Next is simplify your life. Consciously create a lifestyle that requires less money to sustain. When you reduce your cost of living now, you automatically increase your savings and create the possibility of an earlier financial freedom or retirement. Okay, wealth is not just about how much you earn, it is also about how wisely you design your life. Okay, so simplify everything to live your life on your terms. Okay. Last but not the least is keep learning and growing. As Benjamin Franklin once said, if you think that education is expensive, try ignorance. The price of not knowing is always higher than the price of learning. So learn whatever it takes to move to the next level of your life. What matters most is your willingness to learn. Okay, keep developing yourself. Remember, you are the roots and your results are the fruits. So when you grow yourself, your character, your mindset, and inner strength, you naturally become successful in anything you do. Okay, so enroll in that course, learn those skills, educate how to manage money, how to invest and save, and keep upgrading yourself. As Eric Hoffer, the philosopher and author, wisely said, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned will beautifully equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. Okay, so those who keep learning moves with the world, and those who don't fall behind. With this, I close today's session. If this session resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you truly care about. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care.